Hey, what's up guys? Chrispotter here. Now, when I've been online in WoW or in a Twitch chat, I've been getting a lot of questions recently through PMs and whispers asking about what healer people should play, what healer's good, what healer's bad. So instead of answering the same question 100 times, I've decided to just put a quick little video together explaining how I feel about the healing specs in Legion. I've spent a lot of time in the alpha and beta playing different healing classes in both raids and mythic plus dungeons, though I will admit that I have put more time into some classes than others, and Legion still is in beta, so there's a high chance that things can get changed between now and live. I'm going to rank the healer specs from worst to best, and my ranking is for a mix of both mythic 5-mans and raids. I should also say that just because I'm ranking the healers from worst to best doesn't mean that some healers aren't viable. They're all viable unless you're going for the absolute world first min-max comp. In 6th place, I've put Discipline Priest. Disc has changed quite a lot in Legion, and has a lot more focus on damage than it currently does in Warlords of Draenor. It does have its positives, such as being able to do a considerable amount of DPS while healing, and it is still the only class with a reliable absorb. However, in my opinion, it struggles to react to unexpected burst damage, and is too reliant on having an enemy to attack. The atonement system is not flexible enough in my opinion, and it feels kinda clunky. The truth is, there are other healers who I think can provide better healing in a lot more situations, and when there are times where there's no damage going out on the raid, other healers can do almost as much DPS anyway. Its raid cooldown, Power Word Barrier, is still restricted to the raid being stacked inside of it, and Pain Suppression has a really long cooldown now in Legion. However, it is very possible that this may still take a raid spot in Legion, just because of its damage while healing playstyle, and for absorbing some mechanics. In 5th place, I've put Mistweaver Monk. Mistweaver received huge changes in Legion, and its toolkit is now a lot more flexible than it is in WoD. Mistweaver has really strong single target healing with Enveloping Mist, strong spot healing with Effuse and Vivify, and strong raid healing through Essence Font and Vivify. So you might ask why I've only put it in 5th place, and that's because of a number of reasons. First of all, the smart healing of Essence Font works in a lot less efficient manner than other classes' smart AoE healing. Secondly, it is required to be in melee to get the full output, and unlike in WoD, Monk is not marked as a melee, so all range spells can still trigger on you. Lastly, Mistweaver Monk is also very heavy on mana usage during raid healing, and Revival is considerably weaker than it is on live servers, though there is less of a difference once you have unlocked your full artifact. Ultimately, small changes could easily lead to one of the strongest healers, but right now, other healers can do what it does without the melee requirement and high mana cost during AoE healing. In 4th place, I've put Holy Priest. Holy Priest is a lot more fun to play in Legion than it is in WoD. Chakras are removed, and Holy has been given some powerful Holy Word spells, which can have a strong impact on the way the fight's going. Holy Priest was in my opinion the best healer in Mythic 5-mans until the latest build, where Guardian Spirit received substantial nerfs and Flash Heal was also nerfed. It is however still really strong in Mythic Plus. Holy Priest in raid is very flexible in its raid and spot healing, though for absolute max performance it still requires the kind of ticking damage intake for Pyramending's full use. And Pyramending's strength is increased even further with artifact traits and talents. I think Holy Priest is one of the most fun to play, but it lacks the sustained tank healing compared to classes like Druid, Monk and Paladin, and Divine Hymn is still the worst throughput raid cooldown in the game, as it still requires the priest to stand still for the duration of the channel. In 3rd place, I put Restoration Shaman. Resto Shaman is one of the classes whose toolkit has not been changed too much since live, but through talents and artifacts, they have become more flexible than live. Through talent choices, Resto Shamans can easily define if they want to be more AoE heal focused with Chain Heal, or more single target heal focused. This flexibility means Resto Shamans can be top tier with stacked raid healing, while also being very strong in 5-man Mythic Plus dungeons, and also in fights where players are not that stacked. Resto Shaman are also getting back their health increasing passive via a talent, which they had in MOP, which can be substituted even for a powerful Ankh Totem, which could also be useful in some fights. With the spot healing focused talent choices, Resto Shaman is one of the best healers for mana efficiency. That fact, along with them keeping the same mastery that they've always had on life, means that Resto Shaman will likely be one of the best progression healers in the game. In 2nd place, I put Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin is filling the same spot as before, where it's remaining as the kind of required tank healer. While Double Beacon is weaker than it is on live servers, the Holy Paladin's new mastery, which increases their healing to targets closer to them, will significantly increase tank healing if the Holy Paladin places himself well. Holy Paladin also now have auras, which provide interesting options. Devo Aura's effect is changing depending on which aura you have active, and it means that Holy Paladins basically have 3 different raid cooldowns that they can choose from, and they can use whichever is best for the fight or situation. While Holy Paladins still retain insanely strong spot healing, their lack of raid healing outside of their cooldowns, and the fact that Hand of Sacrifice can no longer be glyphed to not redirect damage, means that I put them in 2nd and not 1st place. That means that in first place, we have Resto Druid. Druid has received some big nerfs to its mastery in the more recent builds, but despite that, Resto Druid's insane flexibility through talents and the fact that absorbs are largely removed means that for me, they are the strongest healer in Legion. Resto's new mastery hugely increases single target healing compared to life, and Iron Bark is the lowest cooldown damage reduction external in the game, and can be made even more powerful through talents and artifact power. You would think Resto Druid has lost its ability to raid heal because of this, however, it only really loses a little bit of efficiency with raid healing in the fact that you don't want to blanket the raid with HOTS anymore and more focus those HOTS on a smaller group of players. Tranquility has also turned from a burden of a raid cooldown into the best raid cooldown in the game. Through an artifact trait, Resto Druid can now move while channeling Tranquility, and if you choose to, you can even talent Trank for a 2-minute cooldown. Trank is also stronger due to not needing the same setup as on live in terms of having to refresh your harmony before you Trank. Through talents you can completely adapt to different fights and different raid damage styles. Resto Druids are also incredibly good in Mythic 5-mans as their mastery allows for really good tank killing, and Wild Growth continues to be really good at healing 5-man groups. Legion changes to how raid healing works and individual changes to Resto Druid means that Resto Druid will be top tier in Legion. And the only negatives to Resto Druid really are that it's a bit harsh on mana efficiency, you have to watch out on your mana usage, especially in raids, and of course all those demon hunters are going to be after your leather gear. Well, that concludes my overview for the healers in Legion. As I said before, the classes in general are really closely balanced, and as beta is still beta, things can change. While this was a kind of quick primitive overview of how the classes are looking, if you enjoyed the video or would like to know more, I might be interested in some more in-depth individual videos for each healing spec. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like the video and leave a comment letting me know what points you agree or disagree with, or if you think maybe I've overlooked something, let me know. Bye guys.